Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Good evening, guys, and welcome to the next session from this DILR series that we are doing. So, this is the sixth session that we are doing today, a score booster series that we have been doing for a long time now. I hope many of you have already seen the previous lectures as well, or you have been with me for a long time. So, in that series, again, we have the next session. So before I start, can you please confirm once? Can you all confirm whether I am clearly audible to you or not? Am I clearly audible? Am I clearly visible? Just confirm once. After that, we'll start with our session today. Okay. A very good evening to all of you. So till now, whatever we have done, what all we have done before that. So in one of the classes, in the initial classes, we talked about the questions which are based upon tables. Then we started talking about questions which are based upon line graph. In one class, we talked about the questions which are based upon bar graphs. We also talked about the questions which are based upon pie charts in the last class. So today we are going ahead with that. It is the next session that we'll be talking about today. Renu says yes. Good evening, Renu. Hi. Good evening, Hina. Good evening, Lizo. Very good evening, Gitanjali. Good evening, Kirti Singh. Good evening, Vineet Dwivedi. A very good evening to all of you. Happy to see you here, all of you, because I've told in the previous classes as well, when more and more people are there, it always feels better. Because if you guys are interacting with me, so at least I would also feel that I'm not taking an online class. So people are responding to the questions and they are not feeling sleepy. Anyways, whenever we talk about quantitative aptitude or LRDI, these are some of those areas in which we start feeling sleepy after some time. So that should not be the case, at least in these sessions. Hi, Rohit Sharma. I am assuming that you are not the same Rohit Sharma that everyone knows, but I hope that you are. Good evening, Amatya. Good evening, Mahavishnu. Very good evening, guys. So yes, I think we can start with our session today. So what exactly I am going to take today? That is the first question which would be there in your mind. So we have taken bar graph, pie charts, line graphs, tables, the four core types of data interpretation we have done. So what I am going to start with today is the unconventional type of DI, right? Today we are going to do those kind of questions which generally you would see that you would not have done them in probably in your normal classes. So sometimes CAT, ZET, IFT, these exams would be putting up some questions in front of you which you would not have seen before. Those kind of questions, I'm just calling them unconventional, that okay, something that I've not seen before. Those kind of questions that we are doing today. So I'm starting with the first type here. Okay, I'm starting with the first type here, as you can see on your screen, the unconventional data. So you see a graph over here, which you probably can't put in the category of a table or a pie chart, bar graph, line graph, nothing of those sorts, right? So this is an actual question from one of the years of CAT papers. So this is what I am talking about. The first set would be slightly easy, but the second set would be slightly difficult, just to give you an idea about what kind of questions they would be asking you. Today we are going to do 4 sets from unconventional data. This is the first one. The second one again would be based upon that. The third set would be another unconventional type, and the fourth one would again be of that type. So basically 2 types we are going to cover in these 4 sets today. So I request all of you to just go through this data once, and after that we'll start doing these questions based upon it, right? So all of you, please read the data once, and then I move on to the questions after it. And this time I hope that you all would answer these questions as well the moment I show you the questions, right? We'll be talking about the right way of discussing doing these questions as well. वो भी हम लोग बात करेंगे. So it's an expectation from all of you, Renu, Hina, Lizo, Gitanjali, Kirti, Vineet, Rohit, Amatya, and Mahavishnu, that please stay with us till the end of the session. Try this set. I am pretty sure that you are going to take away something good from this session today. So I hope all of you have read it. Each point in the graph below shows the profit and turnover data for a company. Each company belongs to one of the 3 industries: textile, cement, and steel. Now in this graph you can see on the right hand side, he has told us that any figure which is representing a triangle is basically a textile company. When it is represented by a circle, it is a cement company. and when it is represented by a square, it is a steel company. So basically I see that there are 5 steel companies, there are 4 cement companies, and there are 4 textile companies here in the graph. Now what kind of questions can they ask you? Of course you would say that okay, we have understood the data. The x-axis is giving you the turnover, the y-axis is giving you the profit. So now we have to relate with them. So turnover are given on an axis of 1000, 2000, 300, 1000, 4000. Profits are given on an axis of 100, 200, 300, 400. So let's have a look at the first question here. For how many companies does the profit exceed 10% of the turnover? I want to see how fast you guys answer to this question. So your time starts now. Let me see who answers first, and it has to be correct, right? So answering first is always easy. The difficult part is answering correct as well. So yes, try this question, give me the answer, and then we'll start talking about it. Let me see who all answers this the fastest. I would be waiting for the answers because of course the answers would reach me a bit late. There is a slight delay between what I speak and what reaches you. So I'll be waiting for some time before I see the answers from any one of you, and after that we'll start discussing this. For how many companies does the profit exceed 10% of the turnover? For how many companies the profit exceed 10% of the turnover? I would say it's a visual question. By looking at the graph, you can answer this question. Trust me. Just by looking at the graph, you can answer the question without doing any calculations. So we got the first answer from Shiv Shankar. He says option D, 5 is the correct answer. Let me see anyone else giving an answer. Mahavishnu says 8. So we got an answer as 5. We got an answer as 8. Okay. What else? What else? Only 2 answers. One is given by Shiv Shankar and one is given by Mahavishnu. Can I see a few more answers? Amatya is saying 6. Oh God. So we have got 3 answers. All 3 are different. 7 is left. Let me see who takes up 7. We got one answer as 5. We got one answer as 8. We got one answer as 6. Is there any other answer that I can expect from anyone? 7 is still remaining. If 7 is also then one of the answers, we would be absolutely sure that at least one of the answers is correct. Currently, though, it will be very bad if 7 comes out to be the answer, isn't it? For how many companies does the profit exceed 10% of the turnover? So I'm assuming that we have got these 3 answers and we have to move ahead with these only. So for how many companies does the profit exceed 10% of turnover? Let's start talking about it. Rohit Sharma also got the answer as C. Okay, we'll see this. See, when I say that the profit should exceed 10% of the turnover, Kinjal has also given an answer as 5. Okay, Kinjal, I'll take that. That means if a company is having a turnover of 1000, can I say the profit should exceed 10% of 10,000? That means the profit should be above 100. So can I say the company with a turnover of 1000 should be above this point? I hope you all agree to that. If the turnover is 1000, profit should be more than 10% of 1000. That means it should be more than 100. If the turnover is 2000, the profit should be more than 10% of 2000, that is 200. So on this side, 200 lies on this line. So it should be above this line. On this side, profit lies at 100. So therefore, it was above this point. Similarly, if the turnover is 3000, 10% of 3000 is 300. So can I say the company should be lying above this? So basically, going by this, can I say if I draw a line like this here, if I draw a line like this, can I surely say that any point which is lying above this line has a profit which is more than 10% of their turnover? Are you with me on this? Jaldi bataiye. For example, if I talk about a company whose turnover is 1200, what is 10% of 1200? It is 120. So anything which is above 120, both of these companies would have a profit which is more than 10% of their turnover. Similarly, when I talk about a company having a turnover of 1800, what is 10%? 1800, 10%? It is 180. So anything above 180 would be taken. So this company would be having a profit more than 10% of its turnover. And therefore, 1 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. There are 7 companies for which we can say their profit exceed 10% of the turnover. So the answer is 7. And I hope you all can see how easy the question would become if we just look at it differently. The left hand axis, the y axis, which is showing us the profit. The x axis is showing us the turnover. What is the relation between those? Where does 10% of that turnover lie on the y axis? This is what we are looking at. So 10% of 0 is at 0, 10% of 500 is at 50, 10% of 1000 is at 100, 10% of 1500 is at 150. So that way, if you just make all these points, you will see that they will make a straight line, and any company which is above this straight line has a profit more than 10% of the turnover. Below this is having profit less than 10% of the turnover. I hope you understood my point. If you have understood it, please press the like button. Tell me in the comment box as well whether you have understood this point or not. आपको ये समझ आ गया है कि नहीं? And I'm pretty sure you would have understood this point कि कितना आसान था question. It's just about learning that way or thinking that way. Sometimes we don't think that way and we are more focused upon let's calculate the turnover of each of the companies, let's calculate the profit of each of the companies and then check for which of the companies the profit exceeds 10% of turnover. But that is not needed. That's exactly what CAT is all about. I hope you would have understood it, right? Lizo says yes, understood. Amatya, probably by his smile I can take it that he also understood. Others too. So I think we can move forward to the next question now. Next, Kinjal is saying also that I have understood. Next is question number 2. Let me see that who answers the fastest and correct now. Please try to answer, all of you. Last time also we got only 5 answers. I would expect a few more answers, and do not take it as a maths question where you have to write down the values, check everything. Don't do that. Try to answer these questions just by looking at the graph. I'm pretty sure you would be able to do that. In this question, at least you can do. So try it once and give me the answer that for how many steel companies with a turnover of more than 2000 is the profit less than 300, right? I would like to see some correct answers this time. Correct or wrong, whatever answer you get, please give me the answer. By giving the answer, you just make your attendance, mark your attendance. You just tell me that you are there. I get this, that okay, you are listening to me. So Lizo Joy has already answered this question. Lizo says the answer is C. Is there anyone else who can answer this fast? And I have told you, just look at the graph. Try to answer looking at the graph now. Amatya has given the answer as 2. So probably he is also saying option C. That means 2. Lizo is saying option B now. Gitanjali is saying C. Okay, great. So we have got the answer as C, B, C. Kinjal is also saying 2. Probably that means C. Shiv Shankar is also saying 2. Okay, that's great. Lizo now says B. Renu says C. That's great, guys. अब आप आंसर दे रहे हैं, अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे देख के that yes you are there. आप सुन रहे हैं मुझे, अच्छी बात है. Let's have a look at this. Kirti has got the answer as 2. For how many steel companies with a turnover of more than 2000 is the profit less than 300? See, how would I do this question? I would just tell you about it. ठीक है, मेरा क्या तरीका है ऐसे questions को करने का? I would say how many steel companies? Steel companies means squares. So I'm looking for squares first of all. With a turnover of more than 2000. Turnover is here. More than 2000 is above this. Is the profit less than 300? Profit is here and it should be less than 300 below this. That means I am looking for squares ahead of this line and below this line. So I am looking for these squares in this area. Is that right? Whatever squares are there in this area, that is my answer. This is one square. This is second square. My answer is option C. That is equal to 2. I hope you can see how easy the question is, right? And it is an actual CAT question. I always tell you in each and every class, I am not making these questions by myself. I am giving you the authentic questions that have appeared in these examinations. And this is one of those questions. And you can see, looking at the graph could have given you the answer. It's more of a visual exam, I would say, rather than a data interpretation based exam. Okay. Rohit Sharma also got the answer as 2. So this time I see that most of you had given the right answer. Lizo initially gave the answer as C, then B, then again B, and then again came back to C. So ultimately, लौट के बुद्धू घर को आए, we can say that. Okay, let's move ahead now. This was question number 2. Here comes question number 3. Again, I would like to see how many of you answer is as fast as you should. So who is the person who gives the fastest answer? This is question number 3 in front of you. All of you, try this. An investor wants to buy stock of only steel or cement companies with a turnover more than 1,000 and profit exceeding 10% of turnover. How many choices are available to the investor? Whatever is written in this question, we have already done it. I am pretty sure that all of you would be able to answer this now by looking at the graph. We have already got an idea. We have got an idea how do we attempt this question. And I would like to see all of you giving a right answer to this question now. So Lizo, Hina, Rohit Sharma, Kirti, Renu, Shiv Shankar, Kinjal, Gitanjali, Amatya, Vineet. So I am looking for an answer from each one of you. Mahavishnu. Amatya has already given the answer as 5. Is there anyone else? Any other answer? Kinjal says 4. So we have got 2 different answers. Amatya is saying 5. Kinjal is saying 4. 2 answers are there. Others, let me see what answer have you got. Shiv Shankar also gets 5. Okay, Shiv Shankar. Kirti Singh has got B. That's great, Kirti Singh. B means 5. Lizo got D. That is equal to 7. So till now we have got 5, 4 as well as 7. Kinjal has got 5 now. Okay. So now most of you are saying 5 and Lizo says 7. Rohit Sharma is also saying 4. Okay. That's great. Let's start doing it now. An investor wants to buy stock of only steel or cement companies with a turnover more than 1,000 and profit exceeding 10% of turnover. How many choices are available to the investor? So Gitanjali also got B. Let me see how many of these answers can we get. First of all, only steel or cement. Steel or cement ka matlab ye hai, we are looking for the squares or circles. Turnover more than 1,000. Turnover more than 1,000 ka matlab we are looking above this. Anyways, this is below 1,000 and anyways it is a textile, so it does not make a difference. And profit exceeding 10% of turnover, we have already discussed it. Exceeding 10% of turnover means above this line, because this line is representing 10% of the turnover. This point is representing 10% of 1,000, that is 100. This line is representing 10% of 2,000, that is 200, so on and so forth. So we are looking for circles and squares above this line. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So my answer would be 5. There are 5 figures, or you can say 5 circles or squares are there which are having a profit more than 10% of the turnover, and turnover is more than 1,000. So the correct answer for this question is 5. I hope Vineet you got it now. Where did you go wrong? Rohit Sharma, Lizo, some of you got the answer as 7 or 4. I hope it is clear. Renu got B. So all others already got B, 5 as the answer. But now I think it will be clear. So the point was this only. I just wanted to show you that these kind of questions, though these are unconventional, but normally they would not be on the difficult side. And the good part is you don't have to write everything. Just by looking at the graph, you can answer the questions. This can definitely be done. If you have understood this first step, please press the like button, and then we move on to the second set as well. This second set would be slightly difficult, but almost of the same type as you have seen. So here is a question which is again taken from an actual CAT paper, right? This is again taken from an actual CAT paper. So I would just hide myself for a moment, because it might be important for you to read all the data to do this question. So all of you please try this question once, and after that we will move forward. Why diagonal? So we discussed it in the very first question, right? That the diagonal was representing exactly 10% of turnover. So anything above that diagonal was representing more than 10%. Therefore we took the diagonal. Oh, Kriti has already answered the question for you. So please read it once. This is a slightly difficult question, I would say, but yes, of the same type that we just did. And this too is from an actual CAT. That means it is authentic question. We can say such a question can appear. Okay, Amatya, in the books also many of these questions are actually taken from actual CAT papers. So this is from an actual CAT paper. Probably in the book it is taken from there only. So we will do it together, right? Answer the following questions based on the information given below. Telecom operators get revenue from transfer of data and voice. Average revenue received from transfer of each unit of data is known as ARDT. Average revenue from transfer of each unit. So one unit will give you how much revenue? That is called ARDT. And that ARDT is on your x-axis. In the given diagram, the revenue received from data transfer as a percentage of total revenue received and ARDT in US dollars are given for various countries for 2009. So what is ARDT? He has already mentioned it. It is the average revenue received from transfer of each unit of data, right? And in the given diagram, the revenue received from data transfer as a percentage of total revenue received and the ARDT, these things are given. Now the point is there are three things. One is the total revenue. Second, revenue received from data transfer. I am calling it RDT, right? Revenue received from data transfer. And the third thing is average revenue received from data transfer. So can I say this average revenue received from data transfer is nothing but total revenue received from data transfer divided by the number of units. Is that correct? I'm repeating it. Let us say 100 units were transferred, and for those 100 units we got a revenue of $400. So can I say the average revenue would be $400 divided by 100, that is $4. That $4 would be called the ARDT. Is that correct? One is total revenue, one is the RDT, that is revenue received from data transfer. Revenue received from data transfer, and third is ARDT, that is average revenue received from data transfer. I hope all of you know that what is average. If there are 20 units sold for 100 rupees, what is the average price? You would say 100 by 20. So therefore I have written that revenue received from data transfer divided by number of units, it is equal to the ARDT. Usko aap bolenge average revenue received from data transfer, ARDT, right? So I hope all of you have read this. So just look at this table once. Once you understand it, I'll go to the questions then. The x-axis is showing you ARDT in $5, $10, $15. The y-axis, it is showing the revenue from data transfer as a percentage of total revenue. So it is not giving you exact RDT. It is giving you RDT as a percentage of TR. I hope you have understood. Does voice come into play here? Voice, I did not get your point. Are you relating it with the mobile bills or something, the data transfer of mobile and the voice calls as well? If you are connecting it with that, Lizo, so of course, if there is no mention about voice, so you don't talk about it. Once you have understood this graph, please write in the chat box that yes, understood, move ahead. The moment you write move ahead, I'll move on to the slide, next slide, where we have the first question based upon this data. Where we have the first question based upon this data. So in this graph, you can see the topmost figures for Philippines and Japan. They are given to us, whereas others are not given. Indonesia is given, Philippines is given, Japan is given. Why are they given? Because they were actually going out of the graph. This graph is only up to 30%, whereas these figures are 54%, 42%, 70%. So they could not make such a long graph. तो ज्यादा लंबा ग्राफ नहीं बना पा रहे, therefore they have just showed it in the dotted lines over here that it is going upwards. So अगर आपको ये चेक करना हो फिलीपींस कितना होगा, so they are saying that this is equal to 54%. बाकी नीचे के जो फिगर्स हैं, they you can directly take it from the graph. Oh yes, I got your point, Lizo. It is mentioned over there, voice is written over here, but it has got no meaning because the graph is not talking about it. I get your point. I get your point. I just saw it. Okay, Kirti says it is okay. Amatya says okay. Then Shiv Shankar and Kirti are also saying it is okay. Kinjal is saying it is okay. So we can move forward to the first question. Let's have a look at the first question now. Okay. It was found that the volume of data transfer in India is the same as that of Singapore. And this is volume. It is not revenue. Volume of data transfer. Volume से यहाँ मतलब है आपका units. The number of units of data transfer. They are the same in India as that of Singapore. Then which of the following statements is true? Then which of the following statements is true? That you have to figure it out from here. So total revenue is the same in both companies. The total revenue in India is about 2 times that of Singapore. Total revenue in India is about 4 times that of Singapore. So which one is correct? This is what we have to discuss here. So let's do it for one of the countries. It will automatically be done for the other country as well. So when I talk about India, let's talk about India over here. Can I say India's ARDT is $1? Is that correct? India's ARDT is $1. And when I talk about this percentage, can I say it is approximately 8%? Right? This figure would lie somewhere around 8% because this is 0, this is 10. So this would be somewhere around 8%. You would say, sir, why not 9%? 9% would be a figure like this, right? 9% would be a figure like this. Then you would say 19% would be a figure like this. Then you would say, why not 20? तो मैं कहूँगा 20 would be a figure like this. You always look at the midpoints of these figures. We have already discussed in one of the classes before when we were talking about line graphs. वहां पे हमने discuss भी किया था. So $1 and 8% is about India. So now he is talking about volume of data transfer is same as that of Singapore. So what is the volume of data transfer? पहले में India के लिए let's calculate that. Let us say India's total revenue is TI. So 8% of that TI is equal to the revenue from data transfer. Is that correct? Revenue from data transfer. And this revenue from data transfer divided by the number of units is equal to ARDT, which is equal to 1. I hope all of you are getting it. I hope all of you are getting it. The total revenue of India, I am assuming at TI, 8% of that is India's revenue from the data transfer, and that divided by the number of units is equal to the ARDT, which is already given to us as 1. Okay, so RDT divided by units is equal to 1, and TI into 8 by 100 is equal to RDT. Now these number of units, right? These number of units, let us call them X, because the question says that this X is the volume of data transfer, which is same as that of Singapore. Which is same as that of Singapore. Got my point? So from here I can say X is equal to RDT divided by TI, right, into 100 divided by 8. But the point is this X is equal to RDT. This X is equal to RDT. You can use it here from ARDT, that X is equal to RDT. So in place of this RDT, I can write X again. X and X would cancel out and I would get TI is somewhere around 100 divided by 8. Or you can also say it is approximately 12.5. Right? It is approximately 12.5. I have made it slightly lengthy, but I just wanted to take each and every step into account so that you can understand it. Now for Singapore, we can do it a little faster because now we have done one thing. So now when I talk about Singapore, Singapore ke liye ARDT is $9, right? and the percentage is 21%. So total revenue of Singapore, 21% of that is equal to their RDT divided by number of units, that would also be X, but this time it is equal to 9. So I can say that X is equal, RDT is equal to 9X, right? From here I can say RDT is equal to 9X. So TS is equal to 9X into 100 divided by 21. 3 3s are 9, 3 7s are 21. It is approximately 300 by 7. So 300 by 7, if you can calculate that, that will come out to be approximately how much? 7 4s are 28 and 7 2s are, it is approximately 42. Are you all getting this point? Sahi keh rahe hain? Please check it once if I am going anywhere wrong. For Singapore, you can say 21% of the total revenue is equal to the RDT, and because their ARDT is equal to 9, so RDT divided by X, that should be equal to 9. From there I can say RDT is equal to 9X. So I put this thing is equal to 9X, and when I put this thing is equal to 9X, it is 900 divided by 21 or 300 divided by 7. 300 divided by 7 is very close to 42 or 43, approximately itna kuch aa jayega. This is around it. Okay, now what is the question saying? Then which of the following statements is true? That total revenue is the same in both the countries. It is not the same. Total revenue in India is about 2 times, galat hai. Total revenue of India is 4 times, this is also wrong. Total revenue of Singapore is about 2 times, this is also wrong. So total revenue in Singapore is about 4 times that of India. So you can say no, this is not exactly 4 times, this is approximately 4 times. And why does that happen? Because the figure that we have taken 21%, that can be 20.5. The figure that we have taken 8% in case of India, that can be 8.5. So it can slightly go up or it can slightly go down. So once you go up or down slightly, therefore only the options are so far that one of them says 2 times, one of them says 4 times. If there was an option like 3 times, it would have been a problem, right? But these questions would always give you options far away so that you can take this much of approximation as well, that even if you take 9 in place of 8, or even if you take 20.5 in place of 21%, so still your answer would be correct. That's exactly is taken care of by all these questions, though slightly lengthy to cover. But once you have understood RDT, ARDT and total revenue, what is the relation between them, the job becomes easy for you. After that, you won't be having any doubt. Okay, we move on to the second question of the same set. So let's move ahead to question number 2. I would like to see an answer from any one of you for this question. Please try to answer. Now we have read the data, so please try to answer the question. Oh, Lizo, I just answered about that. So I said that it is approximately 4 times. Answer अगर 2 times or 4 times में से देना होगा, I would give it 4 times. And I told this specifically that why is it not exactly 4 times? Because the numbers that we have taken approximately, they might be slightly above or slightly below, and because of that you also can get approximately 4 times. That's what I'm saying. I hope you have seen this second question as well. Let's start doing it. It is expected, let me also come up now, because when the teacher is not visible, sometimes it is not that good to see, है ना? Yes, Lizo. If 3.5 was given, we would have gone for it for sure. Let's move ahead. It is expected that by 2010, revenue from data transfer as a percentage of total revenue will triple for India and double for Sweden. Assume that in 2010, the total revenue in India is twice that of Sweden, and that the volume of data transfer is the same in both the countries. What is the percentage increase of ARDT in India if there is no change in ARDT of Sweden? So again, a lengthy question. We need a lot of space to do the question, but in the given space I'll try to do the question. कोशिश करेंगे इसी में आंसर हो जाए. Let's have a look at the question first. ठीक है, करना शुरू करते हैं. It is expected that by 2010, revenue from data transfer, this time he's talking about revenue, as a percentage of total revenue will triple for India, double for Sweden. So what is it for India currently? Currently it is 8% for India. He says in 2010 it would become triple of it, that is 24%, and double for Sweden. What is it for Sweden? So can I say for Sweden it is currently 18%? I hope you all agree with me. And double of that would be 36%. So for Sweden it would be 36%. For India it would be 24%. These are the two things. Let's move ahead. And Shiv Shankar has already answered as 550. I hope you are correct. Let's see, Shiv Shankar. Assume that in 2010 the total revenue in India is twice that of Sweden. In 2010 the total revenue of India is twice that of Sweden. So let us say Sweden's revenue is X. So the total revenue of India is 2X. And the volume of data transfer is the same in both the countries. So we will have to calculate that volume of data transfer. He says that is same, but we will calculate that. So what is the percentage increase in ARDT of India if there is no change in ARDT? Let's find it out. Okay. So first of all, the total revenue of India is 2X. 24% of that, that is 2x into 24 by 100, is revenue from data transfer. Revenue from data transfer divided by the total number of units, let's call that y now, total number of units, it is equal to ARDT of India, right? It is equal to ARDT of India. So in case of India, what am I getting now? 2x into 24 is 48x by 100 into 1 by y is ARDT of India. 48x by 100 into 1 by y is ARDT of India. Let's do it for Sweden. Sweden ka total revenue is X. 36% of that is 36 by 100. This is their RDT. This RDT divided by the number of units, let's call it y, is equal to their ARDT. He says that there is no change in ARDT of Sweden. ARDT of Sweden before was 6, so it would still be 6, right? ARDT of Sweden, it was 6, so it should remain 6. So basically from here we can calculate the value of x by y. We can calculate the value of x by y. It would be 600 divided by 36, or we can say it would be equal to 100 divided by 6. And this 100 by 6 I can put here. This will give me the ARDT of India. So 48 by 100 into x by y. X by y is equal to 100 by 6. This gives me 8 as the ARDT of India. 6 8s are 48, 100 and 100 cancel out. So ARDT of India is equal to 8 from here, whereas ARDT of India before was equal to 1. ARDT of India was 1, but now it is equal to 8. So what is the percentage increase in the ARDT of India? I would say the answer should be 700%, which is just behind me, if you can see that, right? So 700% would come the right answer for this question. That's all. Shiv Shankar, Kirti Singh, have I made any mistake? Because you both have got 550 as an answer, so I felt like probably I have done some wrong calculation at some point. There is a possibility though that might have happened. If you find any such thing there, so please just convey it to me. Is it clear, everyone? What is the percentage increase of ARDT in India? ARDT of India was $1. Now it is $8. So we can say that there is an increase of 700% here. 1 पे 7 का increase है. So there is an increase of 700%. I hope all of you understood this question as well. Can we move forward? That was the second question. And the third question I am giving you as a home assignment now, because of course we have to do the second type as well. I have already taken your 40 minutes. I don't want the class to go this longer. So let's move ahead fastly and let's take this next question as a home assignment, guys. All of you please try this, and anyways this question is quite simple, as you can see. It does not require any kind of calculations. So just try to do this question number 3 and answer it in the comment section. I'll definitely answer it there. So please do it. I'll answer it after a few days because I let the other people answer before I answer for it. So please do this third question as a home assignment and answer it in the chat box. Sorry, in the comment section. Okay, we move on to the next type now. As I said, there are 2 types that we are going to discuss. This is the second type now that we would be discussing today. This is the second type. We normally call it the root diagram, right? Root diagram is something that have appeared in the previous years in CAT as well. This again is a question of CAT, and after that I'll be discussing another set of root diagram that would also be from CAT. So we'll go a bit fast now because of course I have taken already a lot of time. So we'll go a bit fast. Let's try to do this question and let's try to understand it. What does it say? It says the following sketch shows the pipeline carrying material from one location to another. Each location has a demand for material. The demand at Vaishali is 400. So we have a demand of 400 over here. At Jyotishmati we have a demand of 400. At Panchal it is 700. At Vidisha it is 200. And each arrow indicates the direction of material flow through the pipeline. So where does it flow? That is given to us. The flow from Vaishali to Jyotishmati is 300. Vaishali to Jyotishmati, this is equal to 300. The quantity of material flow is such that the demands at all these locations are exactly met. The capacity of each pipeline is 1000. So capacity of each pipeline is 1000 and these demands should be exactly met. So this question we can straight away do here itself if we want to, or we can just have a look at the questions as well, and after that we can start doing it. Just get an idea about the question first. Okay. So if you look at the first question, what does the question say? Here, the quantity moved from Avanti to Vidisha. What is the quantity that has moved from Avanti to Vidisha? That means this quantity. The question had said that the demand is exactly met at each location. That means you got 700 demand met at here. Okay. So of course from this pipeline 700 must have come. From this pipeline 700 must have come. Tabhi to 700 ki demand meet hogi. From this pipeline 300 came only. But Jyotishmati has a demand of 400. So can I say from this pipeline the remaining 100 came? But this 700 also came from this. So this 700 also came. That means 800 went away. So can we say 1000 went from here? 200 was met at Vidisha. The remaining 800 went ahead. 100 plus 700. Out of that 800, 100 was kept by Jyotishmati. The remaining 700 went to Panchal. And from Avanti, 700 would have come. 400 was kept at Vaishali. The remaining 300 went to Jyotishmati. And your question is done. That's it. All the questions now can be done on this single data that you can see on your screen. I repeat, Panchal needs 700. That means in this pipe 700 came. But from this pipe only 300 came. This 300 could not even meet the capacity, the demand at Jyotishmati. Jyotishmati had another demand of 100. And that needs to be met, right? Who will meet it? Of course, from here it would be met. So 100 must have come from here for Jyotishmati and 700 from Panchal. That means 800 must have come in this pipeline. So from this pipeline, whatever came, 200 was kept by Vidisha and then 800 was released. That means from Avanti 1000 came. And that's it. Your job is done. The quantity moved from Avanti to Vidisha. Can I say my answer is option D, that is equal to 1000? I hope all of you are getting it. D 1000 is the correct answer for the first question. Look at the second one now. What does the second question say? So somehow I have done some wrong animation here. the free capacity available at the Avanti Vaishali pipeline. So in this pipeline, how much is free? We just did that 700 went here. That means the capacity is 1000. That means 300 is free. So D option 300 is the correct answer for this question. And last question says, what is the free capacity available in Avanti Vidisha line? So what is the free capacity here? Because 1000 was sent, so nothing is free. That means D option 0 is the correct answer for it. D option 0 is the correct answer for question number 3. Is there anyone having a doubt about this now, or can we move forward? If you understood this, please tell me fast. Understood? Move ahead. And please do press the like button as well if you have understood these questions. If you in any way feel that okay, your knowledge has improved a little bit about some different kind of sets, these unconventional type of sets, if that has been done, so please press the like button as well. These were the 3 questions. As I said that these are actual questions from CAT paper. I have not made these questions by myself. So yes, CAT has asked such easy questions as well in the previous years. And now we move on to another type of question, which is rather another question which is of the same type, right? That too has appeared in CAT, and it's a very famous question of CAT. You can see on your screen. It's a question from Roots and Diagrams, beautiful set, appeared in the recent years of CAT. I mean, when CAT used to be an offline exam, in one of those years this was asked. But it's a very beautiful set. You can see such a set in your upcoming exams as well. बहुत ही बढ़िया सा set है. Just have a look at this and then we can move forward. Okay, we'll do it together. A significant amount of traffic flows from point S to point T in the one-way street network shown below. So it's a one-way street network. What do you mean by one-way? So of course you can see all these arrows are pointing towards one direction only. That means the traffic can go only in that direction. Points A, B, C, D are junctions in the network, and the arrow mark the direction of traffic flow. So arrows are marking the direction of traffic flow, and A, B, C, D are the junctions over here. The fuel cost in rupees for traveling along a street is indicated by the number adjacent to the arrow representing the street. So this 9, 2, 2, these are all representing the fuel cost. Okay, all of these are representing the fuel cost along the road. So he says that traffic can flow from any of these directions, but it has to go in the direction of the arrow. Yes, let's move on to the next information. Motorists traveling from point S to T would obviously take the route for which the total cost of traveling is minimum. If 2 or more routes have the same least travel cost, then motorists are indifferent between them. Hence, the traffic gets evenly distributed among all the cost routes. That means he's saying, let us say there are 4 routes. On all the 4 routes, the total cost comes out to be the same and it is minimum. I mean, I figure out if I go via A, my cost would be 15 rupees. If I go via BA, my cost would be 15. Via BC is also 15. Via DC is also 15. But via D it is 18. So now there are 4 paths which are having the same minimum cost. That means in such a case, if 4 people start from S, one will go via A, one will go via BA, one will go via BC, one will go via DC. This is what he's saying, that they would equally distribute on the paths which are having the least cost. The government can control the flow of traffic only by levying appropriate toll at each junction, right? For example, if motorists take the route SAT, the total cost of travel would be 14. That is 9 plus 5 are the fuel costs plus the toll charged at A. So वो कह रहा है कि what would the government do? Whenever government wants that more and more people should go via this path or via that path. So whichever path government want people to take, so government will do one thing. Government will just simply do one thing, that they would increase the toll at that junction. So people would stop going from there. It's as simple as this. This is what he is saying. कि motorist को वो इस तरीके से control कर सकती है government, that they would start putting up some toll on them, ताकि लोग वहां से जाए ना, wherever they want people not to go. That's exactly what they are saying, right? I hope everything is clear till now, so we can move ahead and let's have a look at the questions now. If the government wants to ensure that no traffic flows on the street from D to T, government does not want any traffic here, while equal amount of traffic flows through A and C, so from here and from here equal traffic should go, then a feasible set of toll charged is what? So let's have a look at all the paths which are there. One of the paths is SAT, one of the paths is SBAT, one of the paths is SBCT, one of the paths is SDCT, and one of the paths is SDT. Okay, so which of the tolls would do this, what the government wants? Let's have a look at this. We'll try it using the options one by one. First option, he says ABCD are 1533, right? These are ABCD, the tolls respectively to achieve the goal. So these are the tolls ABCD. So SAT path का देखो cost कितना होगा? 9 is the fuel cost, 5 is the fuel cost, that is 14, plus the cost at A, which is equal to 1. So the cost would become 15. SBAT, SBAT में SB का fuel cost 2, BA का fuel cost 2, and then 5. 2 plus 2 plus 5, that is equal to 9, plus the toll at B, which is equal to 5, the toll at A, which is equal to 1, that is again 15. Look at SBCT. SBCT ka it is 2 plus 3 5 plus 2 7. 7 is the fuel cost plus the toll at B, which is 5, plus the toll at C, which is 3. It is also 15. Look at SDCT. SDCT is 7 fuel cost plus 1 fuel cost plus 2, 7 plus 1 8 plus 2 10, plus the toll at D, which is 3, plus the toll at C, which is 3. This is equal to 16. Okay. And SDT is 7 plus 6 13, 13 plus 3 16. So in such a scenario, when I talk about option A, what is going to happen? Can I say all the people would take only these three paths? Is that right? All the people are going to take these three paths only. Are you getting my point here? Because these are the paths with the minimum cost. No one would go to SDCT, no one would go to SDT. So government want no traffic flow at D to T. ये तो काम हो गया. This is happening. But when people would go at these three paths, that means if three people start from S, one person will go via SAT, one person will go via SBAT, and one person will go via SBCT. So from C only one person would be going, but from A two people would be going. Whereas the question said we should have equal number of people going via A and C. That is not being done. That means option 1 is wrong by that. According to this, we can say option 1 is wrong. I hope all of you got my point. One person is going via SAT, one person is going via SBAT, one person is going via SBCT. So A and C are actually taken up by 2 and 1 people. दो लोग गए A से, एक आदमी गया C से, which is not required. So therefore this is wrong. And if it is wrong, I'll talk about option 2 now. Let's talk about option 2. So now I'll be a little bit fast. When I talk about SAT, what is the cost? 9 plus 5, 14 plus 1, 15. When I talk about SBAT, the total cost would be equal to 5 plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus B plus A, that is equal to 14. When I talk about SBCT, the cost is 3 plus 2 plus 2, that is 7. 7 plus 4, 11 plus 4, 15. When I talk about SDCT, तो SDCT में आएगा 10. 10 plus CD. 10 plus 7, that is 17. And when I talk about SDT, SDT के केस में people will, अच्छा यहाँ पे फिर problem आ गई है. Whatever it is, the point is all the people will go via this path. That means everyone is going via A. C से तो कोई जा ही नहीं रहा. Whereas the question should have been equal number of people should go via A and C. That is not happening here. So this option is also ruled out. First option gone, second option gone. Come to the third option. Let's talk about SAT. SAT is 14 plus 1, 15. Let's talk about the second path. 5 plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 5, 14 plus 1, 15. That is equal to SBAT. Let's talk about the third path, that is SBCT. 3 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 plus 4, 16. Right? Let's talk about SDCT. वैसे तो I can straight away rule out here itself. SDCT is 7 plus 2, 9 plus 1, 10. 10 plus 2, 12 plus 4, 16. And then SDT. Of course, these are lesser, so all the people will go via these paths. So that means again people will be going via A. No one will be going via C. This option again is wrong. So that 2 is not my answer. Right? Let's move to the next question. Next option 0, 5, 2, 3. SAT 9 plus 5, 14 plus 0, it is 14. SBAT rather ये तो पक्का ही नहीं हो सकता. A को कम करने से तो और भी काम नहीं चलेगा. Let's forget it. Talk about 5. SAT is 14 plus 0, that is 14. SBAT is 5 plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9 plus 5, 14 plus 0 is 14. SBCT is 7 plus 7, 14. Then SDCT is 7 plus 2, 9 plus 1, 10 plus 4, 14. हाँ जी, अब बन गई बात. Now the cost comes out to be this. 4 of the paths have the minimum cost and 2 of these paths are going via C, 2 of these paths are going via A, and now SDT is maximum. No one is going to take the path SDT, and equal number of people will go via A and C. Out of all 4 people who go via 2 people will go via A and 2 people will go via C. That's exactly what the question demanded, that we should have equal number of people going via A and C. Have you all understood this? Please let me know. समझ गए आप सब लोग? If you have understood this, that means we can move forward to the next question. Kirti Singh has a good question. Is there any shortcut for this? No, Kirti Singh, I don't think any shortcut is there. But yes, you can just minimize your cases here. You know that, okay, just say the moment I looked at 0, 5, 2, 3, I immediately cancelled it out. The point is, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to do the cost of C to be slightly lesser than the cost of others, right? Every time the cost of C was getting higher. So जहां C थोड़ा कम हो रहा था, सीधा वहां आना चाहिए था हम लोगों को. So therefore, first 3 options probably I would not have tried. In such a case, I would have tried with option number 4 or 5, and then I would have moved on to 1, 2, 3. This is the only thing I can do. I would say there is no shortcut. There can be some smart work in a question, that which option to start with and which option to go later. Okay? That was question number 1. Let's move on to the second one now. And let's see if there is any shortcut in the next question that we have. The government wants to ensure that all motorists traveling from S to T pay the same amount, fuel cost and toll combined, regardless of the route they choose, and the street from B to C is under repair and hence unusable, then a feasible set of toll. So we want that no one should go via BC because this is unusable, and all others should be the same. So can I say this question is exactly same as the previous question, right? Exactly same as the previous question. Yes, I can understand, Kirti, that it will take time to solve. I mean, this was one of the most difficult sets that year when it appeared in the exam. Not Amatya, we can't say that they have never any shortcuts. Sometimes you might have some shortcuts in some of the questions, but here you won't be having any, right? And of course, this is not that set that I probably would be trying during the exam. I would be doing the other questions which are giving me exactly the same number of marks which I would be getting by doing these. So why would I do these lengthy questions? I would do them only if I have done everything else. Okay? I have time, so I'll start doing it. Otherwise, these are slightly lengthy. There is no doubt about it. Okay? Hanji, I think this is absolutely the same. In the previous question, he said that from DT no one should go, right? And then the traffic should be equally distributed at the remaining paths. This time he is saying from BC people should not go. On the remaining it should be equally distributed. So I am pretty sure that you guys can do it by yourself now. Make the first path, second path, third path, fourth path, fifth one. Put these values and check the path which is going via BC. It should be having the highest cost so that people do not go to that, right? So do it by yourself. I'm sure that you all are good at doing it. So you would be doing it. We'll be doing just one more question on this data set. The government wants to devise a policy such that total cost to the commuters per trip is minimized. The policy should also ensure that not more than 70% of the traffic passes through junction B. not more than 70% of the traffic passes through junction B. The cost incurred by the commuters traveling from point S to T under this policy is what? They want that total cost should be minimized and not more than 70% of the people should go via B. Let's talk about it. First of all, what are the paths available with us? We have SAT, the cost of which is 14 plus A. We have SBAT, the cost of which is 9 plus B plus A. We have the cost of SBCT, for which the cost is 7 plus B plus C. We have the cost SDCT, right, for which the cost is 10 plus C plus D. And we have SDT, for which the cost is 13 plus D. Okay. The question says the government wants to minimize the total cost for the people, and they do not want more than 70% of the people going through B. So what should they do? What is that minimum cost that commuters will have to pay? See, can the commuters pay 7 rupees? If the commuters are paying 7 rupees, that is possible only if each one of A, B, C, D is 0. Are you agreed with me? Because when all of them are 0, this cost would become 14, this would become 9, 7, 10, 13. So all the people will go via this path by paying 7 rupees. But the problem is, in that case, if all the people will go via SBCT, the problem is 100% of the traffic would be going via B. 100% of the traffic would be going via B. That is the problem. He says not more than 70% should go via B. So therefore, this is not feasible. ये तो नहीं बनेगी बात. Can we make the minimum cost as 9? See, all these three are already more than 9. If I make the cost as 9 only, in that case, all the people will go via one of these two paths. Agreed? And both of these paths are again going via B. So again 100% of the people will go via B. Again there would be a problem. Are you getting my point? Agar cost mein 9 bana दूं, again all the people would be going via B, and that would be a problem once again for us. Can we make it 10? Let's try to make it 10. If I have to make it 10, I would be able to send people through these three paths. देखिए बाकी दोनों path तो मेरे 10 हो ही नहीं सकते ना. The other two paths, if I talk about, their minimum cost would be 13, 14. So can you take a cost of 10 and not send more than 70% people through B? क्या हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं? Let's try this. I have to make it 10. I have to make it 10. I have to make it 10. To make it 10, I have to take C as 0 and D as 0. Agreed? If I take C as 0, this becomes 3. And if I take B as 3, this 0, so this becomes 12. Right? This becomes 12. Now what is happening? Just pay attention to this. If I take A as 0, B as 3, C as 0, D as 0, SBCT का cost बन गया 10, SDCT का cost बन गया 10, SDT cost is 13, this cost is 12, this cost is 14. What is going to happen? All the people will go via these two paths, right? That means out of every two people, one will go via SBCT and one will go via SDCT. So can I say only 50% of the people are going via B? And that's exactly what we want, that not more than 70% go via B, and we are getting it by it. अब मेरे पास नहीं जा रहे हैं more than 70%. So that means with a cost of 10, minimum cost of 10, I can achieve this, that not more than 70% of the people are going via B. Though there were 5 questions on this set when this appeared in CAT, I think it was it appeared in CAT 2006. You can find it out there. So just check those remaining 2 questions as well. I just wanted to explain the concept to you, so there was no point taking each and every question. I took 3 questions to just explain it to you, that how do we do these questions. That was all about today, guys. So if you have liked the session, please do press the like button as well, and that's important for us. It gives us an encouragement. And for all the people, whoever is writing CMAT exam, so we are starting this last lap to CMAT. So we are starting this from 14th of March. That means it has already started. Every day at 7 PM, you have a session on this. So just go through BYJU'S exam prep channel and find everything about it, that what is happening. So every day at 7 p.m. from 14th of March we have started this. We have done last lab to CAT, we have done last lab to ZET, IFT, testnet, etc. So we are doing that for CMAT as well. We do the complete revision for the exam before this. Okay. Also, if you are looking for a CAT PI VET program, we are still taking enrollments for that. If you are going for the second stage, and anyone who is appearing for CAT 2022, if you are appearing for CAT 2022, so yes, we do have batches and the current batch is already going on. So you can take admission there. Please press the like button, comment on these as I gave you 2 questions as a home assignment. So please comment about those, share it with more and more people, and subscribe to BYJU'S exam prep channel. And these are the media channels where we are present. So you can find us there on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, and Google Play as well. Okay. So that is all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. So I hope to see you in the upcoming sessions as well. As I repeat all the times, more and more people when are there in the class, it becomes good and it's more interactive as well. We all get fun from those sessions. Not only fun, rather they are informative as well. सीखने को भी मिल जाए और अच्छा भी लगे. What can be better than this? So hope to see you in the next session on next Wednesday at 9 p.m. with the next topic. So that's all about today's session. Thank you very much. A very good night to all of you. See you soon, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.